is up, guys? And I will be breaking down the fullback and mercy rule update on Football Fusion. And the reason I'm breaking down these two updates first is because these are the two main updates, in my opinion, that most people will be looking forward to. So let's go ahead and get started with these two. And I may do the other ones on upcoming videos, but right now we're going to start with these two. And how I will be breaking these down is that I will post a picture of what XSTN said on how they work, and I will be breaking down pros and cons as well of what he said and what I think, in my opinion, what's going to happen on the game. So let's go ahead and get started for fullback. Remember, guys, you can pause the video here, but I'm going to move on. Now for the pros, you can truck a defender and have a 25% less chance of fumbling for the entire game. And I think this is for wide receiver, quarterback, running back, obviously, and maybe cornerback. I think that's for the every position now. When you use this thing at least once. I don't know if it's for just entire offense or just for running back, but I'm pretty sure it's for running back only when you run the ball. So just assume it's for running back right now. All DJ Game Pass owners should have this thing already. Saves DJ owners, Game Pass owners, some time to buy it, but that's a really big pro for the DJ Game Pass owners. So at least XSTN is at least doing something nice for the DJ Game Pass owners. Now, you can at least run over one player. And what I mean by that is you should be able to at least knock over one guy. Because some people are not great at running back, no offense. Some people cannot mix at all. So it kind of gets them in bad situations without this Game Pass. So the only way you can not run over one player is if you get countered by hit stick. And that brings me to the cons of fullback. You can we'll start with the hit stick one because I think this one's important. Don't use the Game Pass on somebody that has hit stick because you'll get flung backwards. That's what happened to me earlier. I did it just to see what would happen, and I basically got flung backwards, and that was just terrible. Like, I got defeated. So make sure you don't use it on hit stick players. Make sure you break hit stick players' ankles because if you don't, you'll end up getting knocked out. Basically, maybe you might, and you could still fumble because hit stick increases the chance of fumbling. Even though fullback decreases it, hit stick increases it right back up. So be aware of that. Those two counter each other. They basically neutralize, I should say, cancel out each other. That's how I should be saying it. But they basically cancel out each other. So you be aware of that. And it can't truck multiple people. That's another con. People think it can truck more than one person. No, it can't. If three people come at you from at one angle and they all like jump on you, bro, you're done. There's no using that Game Pass. The Game Pass is not going to work on three people. It only works on one player, which is why one of the pros that says you can at least run over one player. So be aware of how many people are coming at you at once. Have great awareness as a running back on the field on how many people you can truck at once. Obviously, which is one. So have great awareness of where everybody is. This can only be used 6 seconds after you get the ball. So that's another con. Because you can't use it pretty much when you break everybody's ankles and get deep downfield. Because I know that's what people will try to do. They'll try to break everybody's ankles, get deep downfield, and then they want to use it on the last person. Nope, that's not how that works. You have to use it 6 seconds after the handoff. And this makes sense because if people would do that and they would score a touchdown every single time, if that was the case. So that's exactly why XSTN has made it 6 seconds after handoff. And that makes plenty of sense. So make sure you use it at least 6 seconds after you grab the ball, because if you don't, then it's not going to work, and then you're going to get tackled. All right. In the cooldown, I honestly think it should be larger. Let me tell you why. I know 90 seconds is 1 minute and 30 seconds. I know that's long, but let me tell you why it should be longer. Because if you're thinking like I do, you're going to use it for each player on your team that has the Game Pass. So basically, let's say I'm going to just use some of my friends just for examples. Moss, Tennis, Jaden, Hera. Let's say they all have the Game Pass. I can literally just run each one after every play. It's basically going to be abused after play after play. This is why I really think that 90 is kind of short, but I really think it's long, but it's good. But I really think it should be just a teensy bitsy longer, just a little bit longer, because you can pretty much abuse it if every single teammate has the Game Pass. So it's a really good cooldown, but I honestly think it could be longer as well. Now, the last one is important and not important at the same time. Non-buyers might not take this too great. What I mean by that is that if they don't have hit stick, they're going to get ran over every time. Because I already saw non-buyers complain earlier. It's going to turn. People are saying Football Fusion is turning into a pay-to-win game, which it kind of not kind of is, but it kind of is. And it isn't as bad as Football Universe when it comes to pay to win. Football Universe was all the way around pay to win on that game. So at least it's not as bad as Football Universe. So at least appreciate that, non-buyers. And if all you have to do is just buy one of them, and you can just be pretty good. Anyways, that's all I have for fullback. We're going to go ahead and move the mercy rule. What is up, guys? We're now on to mercy rule. Remember, you can pause this video to read this slide, but I'm going to go ahead and go to the next slide and break down the pros and cons. Here we go. Now, for mercy rule, there's not that many cons to it because this is a really good update. So let me go ahead and start with the pros. Now, for the pros, the first pro, it keeps players inside the game, so it won't be boring for 4 straight quarters. Now, I know, if you're a pro at this game, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is, like, let's say, for instance, that this update wasn't here yet. It'd be like 90-0 in the first half. And then the second half will just be completely boring because it's just no competition in the game. Like, and it's already getting boring in the second quarter when you're already practically blowing out the team anyway. So this is why this update is here, to keep players inside the game so it won't be so boring for them and for the entire game, so they won't have to join a new server. Because I really been there so many times of blowing out so many teams in the first half, and it's been boring. So that fixes that now. Now it fixes the uneven teams issue as well, because it'd be lopsided teams, uneven teams, unbalanced teams, whatever you want to call it. It's just don't be fair. So it fixes that as well. It doesn't affect VIPs. Now this makes sense because in VIPs, admin 5 can set one score really high and one score really low, or just keep it at 0, and then the game would automatically end. So that makes sense for it not to affect VIP. So that's a really good pro. Now there's 2 types of mercy rule. I'm going to go ahead and break down the first one because the first one is important, because the first one is complicated. Now, for the first one, it's a 28-point mercy rule. There has to be 8 players in game, but there has to be 4. Like, there has to be a 4 count lead on your team. So what that basically means, there has to be maybe 5-on-3 for it to end, like 7v3, stuff like that. Basically lopsided teams on how this game can end off of a 28-point mercy rule, and it's rare for that to even happen. So unless the entire team rage quits in one server, then that's never going to happen. But it can still happen. So, and the second one is 48 points in one half, which I just did. I'll show you guys on the video. I will also be giving you guys examples on both. I didn't say it on the fullback one, so the fullback one will probably already be there. But yeah, the second one is just simple. It's just 48 points in the first half. It can't happen in the second half. If it happens in the first half, the game's practically already over. Well, not practically, the game is over. So now the only con to this is that pros can't make big comebacks in the second half anymore. That's literally the only con to it. I couldn't really think of any cons that can literally go against this update. This is a really good update for the game. So props to XSTNs for adding this one, because this is a really good update. All right, guys, that's all I gotta say about these 2 updates. Like and subscribe for more. I may do overall update and the new things that just got added into the shop or inventory thing later. But peace out, guys.